Alrighty. So you guys have gathered up the horses and the cart and the tents, put out the fire, gathered your hunting traps, gathered up Vane's clothes, and you're heading back out. Who is going to take the reins?
I'll take the reins.
Okay. Do you want to keep a lookout, Rook, and I can keep watch?
There, you said two of the same things.
Sorry, I meant to.
I'll walk ahead.
Yeah, I'll keep watch.
Yeah. I'll keep an eye out for tracks as well, in case. Well, shall I make my survival check?
Please. Kato, if you have proficiency with land vehicles, please use that, or use survival. And Roshana will...
Oh, come on, fuck. You see what it cost? You see what those 2 good rolls cost me?
Mm-hmm. And Roshana is going to perception. Where is she? There she is. Come on. Come on, what do I take? Come on. There we go. Okay, not too bad. You're gathering the horses, Kato, and you see every now and then they just keep looking back at you, half expecting you to be taking off in the middle of daylight, broad daylight, just disappear into the forest. But with Rick's survival check, you between the two of you manage to coax them along. You begin to follow the path that you went down previously in the opposite direction, and you begin to go in the direction opposite to the original direction of the river. So you're basically following the flow of the river now. It's not going behind you, it's going forward. So you take a turn around this way.
Yeah.
Diverting down the path. And weaving through the trees and brushrook. Soon gets to the point where you have to start climbing over gnarled roots that have clambered out of the soil. At some point, though, that you do see that the path before you kind of splits. You're not entirely certain which way is, like, the main way, so to speak. One seems to be staying close to the river, the other seems to be going further into the forest.
I'll just stick closer to the river.
Okay. And as you're continuing on, you find that the path becomes a lot more mucky. It seems that the river here is beginning to seep into the earth of the forest proper. You find that the wheels beneath you, Kato, are becoming lodged in places, and the horses are struggling to keep up. It's slowed your travel a little bit, but you can still traverse it. It does get to a point, though, where after about an hour or so, the journey becomes significantly softer. The sound of the wheels become dampened over the earth, and you don't feel those rugged vibrations of the cart through you, Kato. You see that the earth beneath you, Rook, has become darker, significantly darker and soggier in colour. It seems a soggy bog has formed. You push forward, managing to catch onto drier patches to not sink into the bog completely. But you do hear the chirping of crickets and the buzzing of flies. And as the path turns slightly towards the right and away from the river, you see an open clearing. I'll move you over now. numerous trees abound. But as you're approaching Rook, because you are out front, you see a very large toad.
Where? How far ahead? He means me not but ill.
Oh, that isn't. Oh, that is ominous.
I assume we're done here.
Yep.
Rook.
You do see that the space has opened up. Looks quite sticky and boggy, but there is patches on the other side as you look across.
As the cart as I stop here and the cart comes up closer to me.
Mm-hmm.
Once everything gets within range, I am going to cast Water Walk on me, the party, and the 2 horses.
Okay, nice.
And yep, there is Water Walk.
Lovely.
And then I will cast Speak with Animals on myself.
Mm.
Hey, frog!
Little eyes just slowly turn in your direction.
Are you a real giant frog, or it's just some nonsense?
Kind of tilts its head. You not really understanding.
Saying Sylvan. Can you understand me now?
Yes.
Okay. You guarding something over there, or are you hanging out?
I might be.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Do you
Yeah, we
have any treats?
Treats?
Yes.
Yeah, nothing but treats. Do you have any information?
I might.
Uh-huh. I cast Goodberry. And form 10 good berries in my hand.
Okay.
Put a couple of them in my pocket. And I'll step forward a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And if it weren't for the spell, you know immediately from the squelch that you would be sinking immediately. But you're able to traverse. No problem.
Hey, Steph and Tiff.
Yes?
What did the creature that took Vane look like?
It was a small man
Small man.
with a long nose.
Okay. Hey, Toad. And Sylvan again.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a frog or are you a toad?
Only frogs in this part.
Oh. Okay. Do you know if a little man with a long nose took a purple guy past here?
No, I saw no such thing.
You're lying to me.
Lie? I do no such thing.
Do I believe them?
Hmm?
Do I believe them?
Do you
Give me an
believe
insight
them?
check. Do you believe love? The frog seems to be telling the truth.
Here, Kato, can you throw this over towards the frog and allow?
You want me to throw?
I'd do it, but I wouldn't make it even half the distance.
Throw what exactly?
This good berry I'm holding out in my hand.
It's a pretty far distance.
Yeah, we can walk forward a bit. Squish. Squish. Squish.
I keep an eye out for other creatures.
Yeah. Roshana stays behind with the horses, holding on to them. Kind of like testing the bog herself with her foot.
I have forgotten to hit the long rest button.
Oh,
Probably help
yeah.
if I did that.
Do you want a good berry?
What is good berry?
Kato, throw the berry.
I will throw the berry.
Okay. Just give me a dex and we'll add your proficiency of +3. Well, no. Just give me a dex check. No proficiency with throwberry.
How dare you?
Tavern Brawler was meant only for throwing berry. Ooh. Yeah. You throw it and it whizzes through the air before you see a large tongue just leaps out of this frog's mouth. It snags the berry midair and within a split second yanks it back into its mouth again. It goes, filling but not tasty.
Was that satisfactory, Rook?
He said filling but not tasty. What, do you want more?
Something different.
Something different. And what will we actually get for giving you something different?
I can show you across the bog.
I suppose that could be handy. I'll reach into my bag of colding and reluctantly pull out a slab of high quality meat. And hold it out towards Kato.
I see. I will eat.
Okay. Just give me another dex check again, please.
Oh dear.
Cast guidance.
Okay.
There. Have a +2.
Yep. And again, the snatches the thrown meat out of the air with its tongue. What stuff? You see the frog boings towards you. And you see, it seemed to have been sat on something, Kato. Over here. A statue of some kind.
Does it look like a dog of some kind, a wolf?
It looks like a dog. Definitely canine in features.
I'm guessing I'm free to move then.
Yeah.
You see the frog begins to, like, flash its little feet, paws, its little webbed feet onto the ground, and you feel the ground begins to shake beneath you. You're holding on for dear life as, you feel yourself stumbling a little bit, Rook, even with the water walk spell, before terra firma is very firmly beneath your feet. And you see
Oh.
water begins to pull out of the earth itself and begin crawling up the frog's skin and then soaking into its back before disappearing completely.
Handy. I happen to notice that within this forest, there's more than one party at play. Seems to be the normal denizens of the forest, and then a sort of new hound-wielding force. Are you aware of them?
The hounds?
Yeah.
Yes. Come
And what is
by,
your
they
rela-
do.
And what's your relationship to them?
I make the bog boggier.
Aha. Good.
Smell of smoke.
Smoke.
Who smells the smoke?
The
The
hounds.
hounds?
Yes.
That's not good. There wouldn't happen to be wouldn't happen to be any Kilar'une in this forest there.
Alarm. No.
Yeah. Good. And what about this small man with a long nose? Do you actually know nothing about them?
You see the the frog's eyes blink. That little thin membrane closes over their eyes for a second. They look back at you. Give me a persuasion check, please, Rook.
Sure. Oh
my god.
The frog tilts their
Oh.
head.
We're doomed.
I'm not sure what you speak.
I don't know if there's any relationship to it, but I had spoken with the plants before, and they had stated that there's some sort of a guardian of this forest, some sort of guy, dude.
The guardian? No.
Hmm.
I have not felt their presence for a long time.
Well, I'm not talking about the I know there used to be a sort of a white stag or elk. Apparently there's something else that's sort of on the forest side.
No.
Okay.
The forest
And-
is alone.
And what about these hounds? Where do they make camp? What territory do they control?
I do not know. They are not welcome.
So I've heard, but they're here nonetheless. Notice anything with that statue, Kato?
Certainly seems dog-like.
You walk over, Kato, and you see it's a statue of a dog. A familiar
Is
looking
there
dog.
any familiar-looking dog?
Looks to be like a lab of some kind that is currently sat down. This is a very old statue. Moss seems to have covered over most of this statue, but you see that whoever has come by has patted its head every now and then because it is worn in that area. There seems to be some words written on the bottom of the statue, but it's not a language you understand.
We'll also pat it on the head. Yes, as well too. I'll just wipe some of the moss off. I'm not vain, so I can't just clean it whenever I want.
Is it okay if we come over? You hear Roshana shouting out to you.
Sure. Hey, Frog, do you have a name?
Frog.
Frog. Could you help my friend with the cart move? The horses can walk on the water, but the cart will have trouble.
The cart is fine to move.
Hey, Roshana, the frog says the cart's fine to move.
Okay. Roshana begins walking forward, pulling the horses along, and the horses, though a little bit scared at first, they see that the earth has become a lot more drier, and they begin walking across with Roshana.
Why were you resting on that statue?
Comfy.
Okay, yeah. No more
Fair
to
enough.
it then.
Yeah, you can't argue with that.
I'll come over to the statue as well and take a pic.
It seems like there's an inscription, but I can't read it.
Can I read it?
Yep. It says, Blink Boy, our good and loyal friend.
Ah, that's nice. Oh, yeah, sorry, it says Blink Boy, our good and loyal friend.
What's a statue of a blink dog doing way out here?
Well, I believe blink dogs are of Fey ancestry. It's a Fey forest. I believe what the blink dog used to have a friend or master of some kind.
You read it again, Rook, and distinctly it says Blink Boy.
As in Blink B-O-I?
Yeah.
As in, you know, the one we had met.
Can I look around the statue to see if there's anything else of note? Maybe even around the statue or around this cliff face?
Sure. Take a look around. Just give me an investigation check, please.
Sure.
Yeah. You see the same thing that Kato saw before he wiped away, or began to wipe away a lot of the moss that there.
Holy shit.
You're right there.
The lightning just hit super close.
Oh.
Damn.
Yeah, ignore me, please. Go ahead.
If you get fried to death, just let us know, okay? That would be really, helpful. Thank you so much. You see the top of the dog's head is bereft of any of the moss. Looking around the statue, though, it definitely depicts like a Labrador-esque kind of dog, in its mid-years, we'll say. Aside from the inscription, which has quotation marks, not much else. The dog is sat down and, has a very peaceful look in its face.
Well, hey, frog.
Yes.
Is there a road or path that continues further that way?
Yes. To get back to the river, you follow. You see, he lifts one of his webbed arms and, like, slowly draws his hand in that direction. Down that way. Okay. Down this way. Inwards towards the forest you go. That way.
What do you think, Kato?
Well, if it's a path back to the river, then we still gotta keep following.
Hey, frog, do you know anything about a creature that steals, like, food and ration from people while they sleep?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
What can you tell me about them?
They like food.
Do you know where they live?
By the river.
Well,
Further down that way? And I point in this
you're
direction
sure that
here.
they're talking about the same
I
creature?
mean, the horses said that the creature that took Vane was looking through my bag.
Hmm.
Yes.
Further down that way.
Yes.
Okay, well that's good. We didn't pass them by. All right, good dog. Pat, 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 pat.
Hmm.
Okay, should we keep going then?
Yes.
It was good to meet you, Frog. I'm also not a fan of the hounds, so we've got that in common. Thanks for helping us get by. See ya.
Thank you for the treat.
Yeah. Thanks for asking for the treat.
Roshana begins leading the horses following your direction, Rook. And the ground firms beneath you as you walk across. You take a quick look back towards the frog and you see it's lifted one of its arms up and is just waving very slowly. And goodbye.
I wave back at him.
Hurry up, Kato. He's been struck by the lightning.
Is it-
Oh no!
They're the same to you, Roshana.
Hey, you were in front of me. I'm trying to direct the horses. Well, ready. So with that, continue onward. The earth begins to lose that moisture that you're finding so difficult to cross before. You spot the river once more, coming closer to it, and carry on. After about an hour or so's travel, you hear singing once more.
Oh no.
Sweet sounding and reverberating between the trees.
Is it the same song?
It is not.
Ooh.
And as you're listening, Rook, it is anything but as sweet as the cadence of the melody would lead a non-Sylvan speaker to believe.
Oh, is the beat really peppy and
Definitely not.
then the lyrics are just the just the worst.
No, this isn't like 2000s Vocaloid music. You know, it's
Sticks and stones break their bones.
song goes, the bringer of dark and dreary night, her magic and stature of power and might, a symbol of fear and dread, the iron tooth of cold rock in our stead. I'll write that out for you as well.
Hmm.
I can't spell. Damn it! I wrote it as Roshana again.
I'll repeat the lyrics so Kato knows.
Mm-hmm. And Roshana's there too, even though she, just told you what what it meant. God damn it!
That's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
And it's bouncing again, so we can't really tell where it's coming from.
Give me a perception check.
Sure, I will guide myself.
Guidance.
Yeah.
It's difficult, but the song is a lot louder than the one you had heard previously. And given the loudness, it's a little bit easier to determine the direction it's coming from. It seems to be in the direction that you're headed, closer to the river.
I don't particularly like the idea of heading towards anything singing in this forest, but we can't rule out the possibility they're related to Vane's kidnapping. We should continue down the side of the river, and if we find the source, we should investigate.
Yes, come what may, we can't exactly continue on without Vane.
And just for my own safety, there doesn't just so happen to be like the strumming of music or like the backing vocals off Vane in this particular melody, and they're not just chilling.
No.
Oh, okay.
Just hear Vane beatboxing in the background.
Oh yeah, have power and might. All right, Vane.
Cold rock. What?
We continue.
Okay. You carrying on, and use the fleeting notes that you catch to guide you. You notice this close to the river that the trickling of the water seems to be getting louder. And you keep an eye just as the trees around you begin to separate slightly, with more distance between each of the trunks. You begin to notice that patches of grass and reeds and fronds are beginning to diverge from the colors of green and brown, and they begin to glow in purples and pinks and blues.
Oh no.
Even some yellows.
Oh man, we're gonna be like 3 months late to this whole giant thing.
As you duck around one large branch, you crest on the other side, and you're in the shade, or light, rather, I should say, of a rather vibrant pink tree. The leaves above you casting a glow on each of your faces. That is the wrong layer. I am a dum-dum. Where's Roshana? There she is. Okay. The singing becomes stronger, converging with the lapping of water, and as you walk further and further, you see that the space begins to open up around here.
I'm going to begin moving quietly.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
Some would even say stealthily.
If you want to roll a stealth check, please be my guest. Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna have to take this workshop and get back.
Alrighty. And Roshana has the cloak of Elvenkind on. That I keep forgetting about.
Yeah.
So to see her is one thing, but to hear her is another. Huh. I just do it stealth first and see what happens. I can wait. It's not great. Chats. You see, Brooke, as you approach, the colorful trees are mixed with the plain ones, and they back away as you look out to see this large open clearing with a very large pond, with a large waterfall as the backdrop.
A little brown golden square in the center.
Yes. You see numerous great glowing plants and bushes and fronds are nestled about this water pool. As your eyes adjust to taking in these very bright colors, you see more colors shimmering and darting above the water between the fronds, accompanied by giggles.
Oh no.
Oh.
Rook pinches the top of his nose as he sort of gets himself ready for the incoming stress before he paints a smile over his face.
You see one of the flitting creatures holds midair for just a moment. You see this tiny, green-skinned female figure. Dressed in a dress made of leaves. It's kind of reminiscent of the one that Fern was wearing back at the, the night of the dinner party.
Mm-hmm.
See, these tiny little creatures have crystalline, butterfly-like wings that beat gently before they flit off in another direction. These are pixies. And they begin to swoop and gather around the center of the pond. And indeed, in the very center, you notice a plank of wood.
Oh no.
Atop of which you see a
Oh no.
sleep and the unclothed body of your friend Vane.
Oh.
Rook is just crouched in his somewhat stealthy form, with both of his arms just point out towards Vane in a what the fuck sort of posture.
And up behind you, despite the mithril armor, Despite the cloak of elvenkind, Kato and Roshana step forward.
I don't choose my roles.
I know.
Clearly,
Should I leave the horses behind?
there's still
No.
unmoving a single
absolutely,
with Rook's eyes
absolutely
twitch.
not.
You see the pixies look in your direction. They begin waving.
Hey.
Hello.
How are
How-
you?
How long is that water walking up for?
How long ago were we in the Toad?
Oh, not long. I'd
Oh.
say like maybe 10 minutes, but tops. You were conversing with the
Okay.
toad and checking out the statue and whatnot.
Okay, it lasts for an hour.
Oh, I was getting it confused with water breathing because I was like, are one of those water spells like 24 hours?
Yeah, water breathing is 24 hours.
Okay.
You see one of the pixies floats down and begins poking Vane in the side of the cheek.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
What you got there?
We've got your friend.
Yeah, mine.
Wake up. And Vane, you just feel a sharp slap across the face.
Ah!
All right, Rook. What's the duty of care here?
Exactly.
Let's see where diplomacy takes us.
I hear we're not to give out our name.
I see a
Be very careful.
pixie above me.
So, Vane, you've just woken up from the best sleep that you've ever had in your life. You feel fully rested, fully at peace, having been lulled to sleep.
Right, we
And
already know this is a fantasy game. You don't need to push it home so hard.
Really
You're-
loving this environment.
Staring up at the sky, and it's a lovely sky blue day. The sun is shining down upon you, and you see this little green face appear before you, little pointed ears and long red hair cascading down. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Who are you?
Good. How are you?
No, who are you?
Oh, I'm Sandra. Your friends are here.
Oh. Well, where am I? And I kind of look around, floating.
Yeah, you are floating, and you look down at your body, and does Vane have underpants on?
I mean, he wears something to stop the what's the word?
Chafing? I don't know.
Chafing. That's the.
He's covered.
A loincloth is present.
Uh,
Ugh.
What? What? Why?
yeah,
That is effectively
you
what
set
underwear
up Vane,
is.
and you are surrounded by an assault of different colours and smells. And you realise, oh, you're not as steady as you thought you were, lying down on this plank of wood that has been twisted together with vines and twigs and reeds. And you just see this little flitting person in front of you.
Vane is gripping onto the edges of the wood.
Mhm.
Around. Where am I?
Vane.
Ah! And I cover myself up.
Just be very careful with your language.
Why do you need to be careful?
I don't know.
Can I ask why the little man with a long nose elected to take a friend from his duties?
Hey, what's all this about? And you see, flipping out of one of the many homes that are
No.
decorating the branches and the natural crevices of the tree bark here, decorated with windows made out of little leaf curtains and twig window panes that they've set up. You see a somewhat male-looking figure who flits out dragonfly-like wings. He darts out like this tiny little crossbow at the ready. Hey, what's your business here?
Pick up.
Pick up! And his eyes dart down to Vane in the middle of the pond. Here we go, listen! Master Kumili brought him down. Oh, he did he? His arrow goes from Vane towards you guys, standing across the lakefront.
We're here for no other reason than to take that friend of ours out of your
You need to say
area.
it so gingerly.
It might be for your safety.
Alright.
I can't imagine you want him here any more than he wants to be here.
That he not hobgoblin. You see, he kind of gets a bit irked when you're speaking. Rook.
All right, come on.
Talking above your station, boy.
I'm not here to pick a fight.
That's a very funny thing to say, isn't it?
Now you know the nature by which I specifically have to say it. Then I'm not disillusioned by the nature of hobgoblins. It's not unfamiliar to me. Especially those that reside in the Fey realm.
Sorry to interrupt. Does somebody have my clothes?
Yeah, I do.
I feel very exposed.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, we're handling it.
Well, okay.
At this point, you hear... as the little man that you had seen the night before, Vane, finally appears. Sat atop of the waterfall.
I remember him, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
You stole the food?
So you're the thief.
And you guys can see now this very hunched, wrinkled, and long-nailed figure. Humanoid, but incredibly small. With vibrant pink, blondish, whitish hair. And these startling blue eyes. But more than anything else, what you notice is the long, trunk-like nose. No mouth in sight.
I just look at Rook. So they're children. We're dealing with children.
Welcome to the Fey realm, bitch. Look, what do we have to do to get our friend here? Hey.
Look at Rook. Do you know anything?
Hey, Pixie, does that individual speak on your behalf?
Oh, this is Master Kimuli. Of course he does.
Master Kirmuli.
He says he needs your assistance.
He needs our assistance.
Yes.
Is this to do with the hounds?
Yes, it is indeed.
Is
How
this
well
why
you
he's-
know of them, Hobgoblin?
Well, they attacked us, and we killed them.
Well, we killed some of them.
I think you're lying.
Can I
You
have
think-
my clothes back, Mr. Elephant Snout
Yeah,
person?
hey,
You know what? Hold on. How far away is? Let's see. Rook, just give me his pants.
I reach into the bag or the fanny pack and pull out his trousers.
Okay.
I just walk a bit onto the water
Mm-hmm.
while that's still going.
I swear to God,
Where's
if
the
you
button?
walk onto the water and you throw them away and they land in the water, when you could have just walked over and given them.
It's funny,
Ah.
as you're walking closer, Kato, Vane begins moving away.
Yeah. And now
Can
there's
I-
two of me.
Oh, Jesus.
Can I point to this guy here and just say, "May I ask what your name is?"
It's Larry.
Larry. My name is Rook. You can choose to use it or not. I get the funny feeling you'll stick with Hobgoblin.
I will, Hobgoblin.
Right.
Quite rude.
You seem to think that I would choose not to help or that I hadn't killed these hounds. Is there some sort of hobgoblin that's helping them?
No, not that I've noticed. You're the
Okay.
first
Have a-
sinner in our forest for centuries.
All right. I'm not particularly fond of the idea of ancestral sin. All I can tell you is I personally have not committed any act. However, I don't expect you to believe me. You, sorry, it's the master who again?
Yeah, can you get a spelling on that?
Can I cast comprehend languages? No, can I cast...
Roshana again with the secrets. Sorry, guys. If you want to, Vane. As long as you've got the correct vocal, somatic, and material.
Yeah.
Probably
what I was
not.
just looking at, I probably don't. Unless I've got a pinch
Does
of
it have an?
and soot.
Well, irregardless of your particular opinion, Larry, I get the funny feeling that it's gonna be the master here that is the ultimate say. You say you want our help? Sounds like a yes to me. Did you ever consider that perhaps you could just ask instead of slowly stealing our food until we eventually caught you and then you kidnapped our friend?
He says,
He says. He says he takes the food as payment for your travel through the forest.
There's an
I left out good berries.
audible facepalm.
And what were the good berries not good enough?
No.
It's weird how you're making this work with farts.
he doesn't have a
Okay.
mouth.
I know. I'm just saying I just find it impressive. You're conveying so much emotion through farts.
So,
Thank you.
can
I don't know how
I
to take that. Yes, go on, Rick. Sorry.
can I assume that if we choose to help you, which I feel likely we are, that not only will you relinquish our friend to us immediately, but you'll also aid us in finishing our journey through this forest?
Yes.
All right. What do you need?
The guardian of our forest has been slain.
Oh, the giant elk? Bastards.
Not an elk? No? Where'd you get that
Oh.
from?
It's a human story.
Nearby
Continue.
folklore and such. That didn't seem very
That was very much
complimentary.
Stupid humans.
Yeah.
The guardian was slain by a visitor to our forest who is not welcome here.
Are they still here?
Yes. But Mr. Kilmooley's millstone has been stolen by a wee boy who came here.
Oh.
Ah,
He came with the hounds.
The boy came with hounds.
Rook,
Tell you that
you're not.
that's what a bad upbringing does to a kid.
Rook, you're not thinking this boy has thrown his lot in with the hounds.
I think he's probably a young boy who was made promises about his mother, not knowing he was speaking to liars and cheats.
Man, well, I've heard of kids being raised by wolves, but this is
Yeah, and I've heard of children stolen by fae.
He says they are not wolves that you speak of.
Hounds.
I realize this. I was just referring to, again, folklore from my homeland.
So,
One wasn't a word, he was just blowing a raspberry at you.
is it the thieving child you want us to go after, or the killer of the Guardian? I look at Larry.
Larry's
Larry
looking
throws a
a little
bone, yeah.
bit, like, in shock at Kilmooley. He goes,
He wants you to go after the monster that killed
the Guardian.
Hmm.
But he wants his millstone back more than anything else.
Hmm.
Bad things are happening in this forest.
Hadn't noticed.
Do you know where this guardian killer is?
I have an idea.
And I trust you'll be able to help us not lose our way.
He's scowling at you, Rook, but Kilmooley's words ring in his ears.
Utterances.
Utterances, indeed. He goes,
Well, it seems like I don't have a choice. But yes, I could bring you to the lair of the Guardian Slayer. But Master Kilmooley has asked that I bring you to the Guardian first.
Fair enough. Well, we don't
How
have to
long?
like each other. We just have to work together.
How long of a journey is it?
About an hour or so from here. Master Kilmooley says if you do a satisfactory job, he'll make sure that your journey to and through the forest will be an easy one.
Well, that seems like a worthwhile trade. Very well.
We leave our carriage and horses safely in your care.
No, he says you'll need to take them with you.
What type of creature is this guardian killer? Anything you can tell us about how it fights?
The Master of the Hounds, Master Kilmooley says, is a wicked creature. Iron Tooth of Cold Rock.
Yeah.
An old
something.
and wicked woman she is. And she is perverting our forest.
Hello. As we're coming to a deal, can I have my trousers, please?
you watch, Vane, as the water beside you begins to swirl and congregate and form upwards.
Oh dear.
And you see the figure, the coalescing of water into a figure of a woman who grasps on either side of this plank and just begins gently pushing forward ever so slowly towards the other side of the bank.
Oh, yes, thank you very much.
If you don't mind me asking, it seems that even those in front of me could pose quite a deadly force if pushed. What is it about this Iron Tooth, this woman, that makes you unable to stand against her alone? Or is there something about her nature that defies the Fae?
And you see Larry puts up his hand and goes,
I can answer this. I went to go confront her myself. But there is something that is blocking our kind from crossing over into her stead. Well, it's our stead, really, but she's perverted the land so much it might as well be her stead.
So she's warded the area from Fae.
Yes.
Alright. We'll, cut out this rot from your forest.
And he says he wants his millstone back.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's been noted.
Do you know where the boy that stole it is? Is he with the beast?
Kilmoley says that the boy is working with this creature, this individual.
Right. Do you know where they might reside or where they go?
I know where the barrier to my kind is. I can bring you that far.
When this woman, when did she first appear?
Kilmoley says a few months back.
A few months back.
Just look at Rook. Isn't it the same time frame that man's wife disappeared?
Is that true, or was it longer?
no, she's been gone for years.
Yeah, she'd been gone for years. I was thinking that because I
okay.
was expecting them to say years. I mean, unless she got lost somewhere, or to become what she is, maybe.
Then again, given the Fey influence, who's to say time is, let's say,
Linear?
coordinated. That's not the word.
It's possible that this individual has changed their form to match what this child would expect.
It could also mean, too, that it was only, a few months that they noticed her influence. Doesn't necessarily mean that she started this whole thing when she went missing years ago.
No, yeah, I know.
As I'm being pushed, can I look at the water, assuming water elemental?
It seems to be a woman made out of water.
Okay, can I look at the woman made out of water that is pushing me and just say, thank you very much, love your hair. The water's incredibly clean, crystal.
She smiles at you. You're not sure if the words come across, but she seems happy enough.
The thought was there.
And she's still smiling, so no offense has been taken either.
That's good. She just dunks me under and starts drowning me. Oh no!
So I just throw him his pants.
Thank you. I put my pants on.
Okay.
Also known as trousers. What is this? This looks like a stick figure.
As you're
Like
looking around,
stick
Vane,
man.
you see standing from behind one of the trees. You see a figure that looks like she's part of the tree,
Ooh, like a.
covered
Where's
in
this? Oh, I see it.
leaves and whatnot. She's just
Ooh.
looking out at what is happening quietly, not getting involved before she disappears back behind the tree again.
Cool. Am I
I
close
just
enough
turned.
to hop off?
You can try.
I will not do that, but I have put myself there now. So.
On yourself, yeah. I'll take this one. There you go.
Oh, I'm
I'll-
the woman.
I'll just step over here and start handing Vena's clothes.
I put my clothes on.
Okay.
I just turned to a little sidebar with Rook. Well, the way I see it, I don't think we have much of a choice. I mean, the alternative is, well, not help them and lose all our rations and or take way longer in this forest than we really need to. Or do help them and maybe even move faster.
If our goal is to make it through this forest as quickly as possible, helping them is the quickest way to do it.
Yes.
And I mean that if for no other reason than if we say no, they're gonna make our life hell.
Exactly. If we decline, then the best case scenario is they remain indifferent. Doesn't make our travel through the forest any easier. And at worst, they would impede our travel further.
Plus, if I'm being perfectly honest, I was kind of hoping we'd run into at least something that was the reason this forest was being hurt. I don't like to see it as much as I don't have much patience for Fey shenanigans. I can't abide by these corrupting forces trying to will their way into the world.
Well, at least there's a definable purpose rather than just shenanigans.
We
So,
can hopefully find
agreed then?
Toby's brother as well, if this is the same child that we're thinking of.
I find it tough to imagine another child out here. It's gotta be him.
He thinks back on his own experiences. Don't be so sure.
You think?
I know.
Well, I think we're better to hope it is, because we know a little bit more. We'll be able to speak to them. Maybe even help them.
Yeah.
It'll be tough to convince them to go back home because there's that dillweed back there. But, I don't know. Give him a big rock or something. Can take care of himself.
Well, any rate, sounds like we're in agreement.
Is everyone good to head out?
I think so.
If I'm allowed to, I didn't really appreciate being abducted.
Yeah, well, when do you?
Fair point.
It's good to have
At
you
least
back
there
quicker
was no
this time.
At least there was no frying pan this time.
Well, the fire's ahead. Hey, Larry.
You see Larry flits over to you and says,
Hey, Larry.
If you're in agreement? Yes?
Can I just pause for a moment and just say I've been really hit hard by like the Belfast accent of Larry.
Larry.
It's really and especially when he was
sorry, you cut off there for me.
Especially when he said the word agreement.
Jesus, Brooke, come on.
Kind of. Anyway,
Are
back
we
in.
in agreement?
I think we're good to go, Larry.
You see, Larry lowers his little bow and arrow that he has and turns towards Kilmuli and nods his head. And you see the figure of Kilmuli slowly begins to float down from his little perch atop of the waterfall. And he floats over the lake. This woman made of water retreats back into the water, melding into the lake itself.
I wave at her. Thank you. And then
Kilmuli.
I give Kilmuli like some semi-glary eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Rude.
And Kilmuli like flicks his fingers as if to say, "Come closer."
Me?
To everyone.
Oh, okay.
Oh dear.
Roshana
Be
begins.
careful, he can make you fall asleep.
Yeah.
Wait, you're all walking on water. How is this possible?
And
Everyone can do it, Vane.
You can't do this?
Did you level up while I was gone? God damn.
you see Kilmuli's nose, he goes,
Can I not stand
And-
directly in front of him while he's doing that?
and with those wise words, he begins to.
I dive.
And just give me a dex save.
Dex. 14.
Within. And you see this pinkish glitter emits from Kilmuli and begins to drift across all of you, sparkling down into your hair, onto your person. And as it does so, touches onto your skin, it immediately disappears. For the duration of the time that you're in this forest, you have plus 10 temporary hit points.
Maybe if he'd said that. Idiot.
Maybe he did.
So
Um,
these hit points will replenish every long rest, each day that you're in the forest.
I was just going to ask.
But yeah, you
Nice.
caught a 2 vein. Not with that dex check. Dex save, sorry. COVID.
COVID's not- I just see this little guy that basically date raped me is just about to sneeze in my face. I'm like,
Oh my God.
I'm not down for this. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
What? He kind of, well, I mean, he didn't drug me as such. I mean, maybe. I don't know how magic works.
Let's get ready to head out.
You
Yes.
ever woken up on a raft?
Yeah. I'll grab the horses.
I have a question.
Mhm.
The incredibly delicious, lovely sleep I got, does that count as a long rest?
It
'Cause I
does
haven't
indeed.
got rest.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I was like, I'm gonna wait.
So yeah, you can add the temporary hit points on now as well.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll like go over to the water and sort of give it a pat and say thank you very much. Very kind. Quick.
Mm-hmm. You see Larry, the sprite, flits forward.
Good old Lazar.
The Guardian's this way.
And with that, the guardian dashes through the air.
Wait,
Darting.
the Guardian dashes through the air.
So sorry, the sprite dashes
Oh my god!
through the air.
It's here! Oh my god! It's attacking! Confused the fuck out of me for a second there. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Darting between the trees and back into the shade of the canopy. You follow the sparkle and glow of the sprite's dragonfly-like wings. You catch up to them as they wait for you, just before flitting off again. And you follow them for a solid half an hour, 40 minutes, 50. You notice that the area around you is becoming darker. The foliage is lacking the luster of the enchanted pond you were just at. But also the forest path that you were walking as well. This is a lot more littered.
I assume the colours are different. Like, so where that one had like pink, all that. Is this more like just standard green forest? Grey?
It's becoming darker. As in the trees themselves are losing their colour. The bark and the leaf.
Okay.
After an hour's travel, the area becomes very dark indeed. You look up between the trees and see that it's definitely still daylight. I mean, you haven't travelled that far. Not much time has passed at all. But the colour and the warmth of the sunlight is just gone. You look around Vane, you see that even the tree branches are drooping slightly. Their leaves are black and sullen. The ground itself seems to look almost black and grey.
Did you say cursed?
It seems that all colour has been sucked out of your surroundings.
God. One, just a super quick thing. When I got my clothes back, I got my weapons and stuff, right?
Yeah,
They
you would
hadn't
have gotten it
taken
from
that elsewhere.
my
Okay.
friends. They hadn't moved
Yeah.
it, no.
No, it's cool. I just wasn't sure if they'd taken my stuff, like my weapons, and left my clothes. I wasn't sure.
Don't worry,
Just
your
make
next,
sure I had
your
it.
next
No, we
captors will
left
remember
all
that
your
next
stuff
time.
at the camp.
Okay. Thanks, me, for reminding her. Shucks. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Even with this, the smell of the earth is still present, though the stench of rotting vegetation and decay becomes more apparent. As the gentle breeze that had rustled your hair before is now a frightening chill. You notice that your breath is now visible in front of your face. And the moisture in the air is now clinging to your clothes as you proceed forward. You approach a large set of bushes before Larry turns towards you. There, just past these bushes. Steady yourselves.
How large of an area does this barrier take up?
The barrier? I'm not sure. I'm bringing you to the Guardian.
Ah,
Weapons out.
The sprite flits past the leaves and you coax the bushes out of your path to reveal a large tree. Its leaves and branches towering over you, blocking up the light. But with what little light you do have, you make out the immense and slumped figure of what looks to be a silvery white horse propped up against the tree's base. You feel icy cold. Rook, Deadman's fingers trail your spine and just linger at the base. There is a sense of both urgency and revulsion brewing within the pit of your stomach. What would you like to do?
is there anything in between us and the tree?
Doesn't seem to be. No.
I will preemptively cast Shillelagh on my staff.
Okay.
How much distance is there between us?
I'd say maybe about 30 feet tops. It's not a lot of space.
And this silvery horse, is there any life in it at all?
It is very much dead.
Yeah, I figured,
But you do notice one thing about this horse, in that it is significantly larger than your very own.
Mm-hmm.
From an immediate glance looking over it, though, you do see that the tail has been shaven down, clean of all hairs. As has its mane.
I'm gonna step out, maybe 10 feet ahead of the group into the opening,
Mhm.
and look around to see if there's anything watching me.
Give me a perception check, please.
Sure.
You keep a careful eye out. But your eyes do dart back to the horse, and you do notice that there are a number of wounds, but not so much blood.
Can I pull my dagger out? Just ready it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna keep moving forward a little bit, but stay around 10 feet. Also, kind of keep the distance between myself and Rook.
You see Larry flits forward towards the figure itself, hovering over it.
Yeah, I'll head up to it too.
You can inspect it if you want, or do you? look at
Yeah,
anything
I'll
particular?
Yeah.
I'll look over to see what sort of wounds or lacerations are in the creature, so we know what to look out for.
Give me a medicine check, please. And Kato, you're approaching as well. Let's take a
Yeah.
look. What are you looking for in particular? Or you can assist as well, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, pretty much assisting.
You can either roll yourself, or Rook can roll with advantage. Up to yourself.
He can roll advantage.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. That's generally how it goes.
Yeah. Okay. You inspect the wounds, Rook, which surprisingly there aren't actually that many. There are a few large claw and teeth marks that pierce through the silvery hide, but as you look closer, you notice there are these dried red streaks of blood about the closed eyes, and a large gash, a groove of missing bone between the eyes.
And you say that this... When did this happen?
About a few days, I think. I can't tell for certain.
And the trimmings, the cuts from its tail and mane, that was done by the same creature that killed it, not anyone else later.
I'm presuming this is how we found the Guardian.
Look, as you're taking a look around, you notice that for such a large beast, there isn't much blood that has been soaked into the ground.
Mm. And you said that the if I look around the like the other wounds, like you said there wasn't many of them, but the other like bite marks, Is there anything that would suggest, like, are the bite marks actually like teeth marks?
There do seem to be teeth marks, but there also seem to be these smaller wounds interspaced between them, like a dagger or knife, something with a clean edge. Has been used to cut veins in pragmatic areas. See one about the neck, one at the abdomen, and as you look closer, you see one on the inner side of the leg, near the groin.
So to Rook, it makes sense that this is less of a butchering of a guardian as it is a collection of resources.
Yeah.
Like a siphoning of blood, a cutting of anything else.
Well, there's definitely like the savagery part of it. Like there's definitely the claw marks and the teeth marks, but somebody has taken the effort to collect the blood.
And I don't specifically know what type of creature this guardian was, other than just a big horse. Like, what I know, the value of items taken from.
It's. You look back at the skull, the head of the horse, that massive gash between the eyes.
Used to be a horn there.
Looks like it. There's a big part of missing bone in that area.
Larry,
Yes?
your guardian, was it originally like a unicorn?
Yes? That's exactly what it was.
Rook will look over towards Kato. Unicorns are very magical. And the hair, horn, blood stands to reason those would all be valuable components. The way this was done, it's ferocious and bestial in nature, but there's a level of uncanny thought and preparation, like to kill a creature and take its blood, not to waste it. Whatever we're going to face down, it's intelligent, and it's up to something. It looks more like the Guardian was attacked for their value as a resource, rather than their inconvenience as a Guardian. Could have been two birds with one stone, but we should be wary.
Indeed.
You see, Roshana circles around the edge of the little clearing that you've found yourselves in. Are there tracks?
She's speaking to us or Larry?
You.
Yeah. Rook will just gently lay his hand on the body of the unicorn for a moment, and then draw it back and begin looking around for I guess he would be looking for more canine tracks specifically, but if there's anything else that, like, they did say this was like a woman, so if there's anything more humanoid.
Sure. You can give me a survival check with advantage. Roshana's going to help.
Yep. Thank you, Roshana.
Very nice. You see large paw prints walking awkwardly towards the area. And between those two sets, you see a wide groove where the earth has been dredged. It looks as though this creature was dragged here by two beasts. And the paw prints circle the creature a bit before turning back in the same direction they came.
Sorry. It looks like the unicorn was dragged here, or okay.
So it was brought back, so it was harvested somewhere else and brought back. By the look.
Sorry?
Yeah.
It was harvested somewhere else and then brought back by the look.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, and as you're looking at the paw prints there, like they do seem to be, they somewhat resemble canine features. They've got the placement of the paw pads, most certainly. But they're incredibly large.
Yeah. And from where the paw prints hit the any like difference between it? Like, is the soil more like drained? Is it more like is it like harder? Is it like more burnt? Is there any sort of like smell of smoke or brimstone or anything like that?
Give me a perception check, please.
Sure, I
Can
will
give him
guide
better
myself.
decoration?
Sure.
Take all of the roll
Oh my
advantages.
god.
You
Ah,
see,
dang.
Rook walks over and just plonks his face into into the dirt.
Inhales
The-
deeply.
Earth itself doesn't seem to have tampered with, but there is this incredibly faint smell of smoke. You know when dogs stick their noses into the ground, they've really found something they want? That's Rook right now.
Yeah, he's like properly like inhaling soil basically.
Getting high on the
Smoke.
earth. Smoke.
What you got there, boy?
Smoke. The hounds we set after now are going to be different than what we had fought before. The frog did say they smelled smoke.
Well,
That'll have no
last
context for
time-
you, Vane, but we met a big frog.
Oh. I met a man with an elephant trunk.
Yeah, we all did.
Oh,
Well.
I'm a neckin.
We have tracks to follow. Smoke. Larry.
I turn to Kato. And he gets kind of aggressive when he starts sniffing the soil, doesn't he?
As long as the job gets done.
Yes. Very well.
Aye.
Larry.
Yes.
While we were traveling through the forest, we heard someone singing a particular song. Kilar'une, lost thou be Kilar'une. Is that a song that those regular denizens of the forest would sing, or...
It's an old song.
Yeah.
If one of our lovely ladies was singing it, that's her business.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just checking. I smell smoke. So there's obviously something with a burning essence to it. I'm just trying to put all my clues together. There's no reason to get defensive.
You see, he just like puts his two hands on his hips,
Yeah.
looks at you sternly.
Mm-hmm.
For a Fae, this creature is very serious.
Sure. Same says. Let's look around the area again. Shall we begin following these tracks?
Seems a logical step.
Larry, I assumed that direction, and I point in the direction of the tracks. does that happen to in some way lead to the barrier?
He kind of peers around and he goes,
I suppose.
Hi, Vane. Vane disconnected.
oh no.
Can't believe he's dead.
And the area that prevents you entry, how big is it?
I can't tell.
Oh,
Hmm.
It's not regular in shape. It's wobbly on all sides.
I see. Yeah. Rook, I don't think we're gonna figure anything out being on the outside of it.
yeah. Let's start
As much
following
as
these tracks.
much as I would like to err on the side of caution, we can't search for information that isn't there.
Yeah.
You see Larry flits forward.
You coming or what?
Yeah. I walk home.
Yeah. Flitters forward. Should we wait for Vane or should we just...
Sorry, no, I am.
Oh, there you are. Hello.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what happened. It literally just kicked me off.
Oh. Oh dear.
I wasn't sure whether it went down for everyone. Evidently it didn't.
Okay. So you continue out following Larry. And out of the proximity of the dead guardian, the forest begins to take up some life again. But there is that edge, that nervousness that has you standing up a little bit straighter. That chill hasn't seemed to have left you as you continue forward. You have the horses and the cart with you, so with Larry leading the way, you need someone to make a survival check, please, with advantage.
Looks at Rook.
Damn. Goddamn.
And anybody who
That'll
wants
do it.
to make a perception check, they can. I need someone to roll a d20, please. Ready. So, thankfully, with that journey up ahead, you don't come across any of the unnatural denizens of the forest just yet. Larry continues flitting on, and you continue on for a couple of hours or so. Is there anything that you guys would like to do in this time?
Nope, just keeping an eye out mostly, I think.
I think after seeing the guardian killed in the way it was, Rook's very on edge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do notice that the horses as well are not too happy. How about yourself, Kato?
Yeah, sorry, I missed it. Basically, just keeping an eye out.
Okay.
No problem.
As you continue forward, luckily, Rook, you don't have much issue with traversing over the various routes and whatnot. The debris seems to almost clear before you as the sprite flits forward. You see the sun above you is still beaming, in this part of the forest at the very least. And my music is dead. The Guardian Slayer killed it.
Oof.
Effing chat.
Sad, sad.
Yeah. Yeah, well. But eventually, you do find that the general feel of the forest, after a solid 4 hours travel, you're past noon at this point, the forest begins to shift away from this warm and airy environment to one that is considerably colder. The chill that you felt previously is null in comparison. The air seems to become heavy and stagnant and thick. And you feel that density pushing against you as you move forward with travel. The sky and the trees above you coalesce and become darker. Not quite to the depths of night, but dim and lacking. And that feeling continues on, as even the creatures and plants of the forest seem to have shunned the area, or have been evicted from this gloom. All except for the solitary and eerie bird call. The bad omen shrieking above you. It's at this point that you see the sprite flits forward before dunk seems to splat into something, and then as it begins to slide down the barrier.
Oh my gosh.
See, the sprite lands on the ground, legs sticking out.
You okay?
This is as far as I can go.
Thank you for your guidance, nonetheless.
Okay.
We'll yeah, endeavour to put an end to whatever is causing the barrier.
I'll be waiting.
Not too long, hopefully.
We'll see about that.
But the sprite flits off to the side and hops onto a branch of a tree. As you continue forward, you feel the
Yep.
earth beneath you becomes firmer, less forgiving, and less receptive to your travel here. Stone cold and solid, the wheels of the cart trundle over, the noise reverberating off the trunks of the trees. Your presence here seems to be a disturbance,
Oh, good.
an affront to the deathly stillness that hangs thickly within the air.
Is it a familiar stillness to the moments before the break of dawn? Over these last 2 nights?
Not quite. This feels worse.
Hmm.
Oh,
You
good.
feel the hairs on the back of your neck begin to stand up. There's almost like an undercurrent of electricity which is running through you, telling you, you shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here.
Yeah. Did I feel like as I stepped through the barrier, like there was any sort of like additional like resistance or feeling for me specifically?
Yeah, pretty much that feeling. You realize
okay.
as you
Yes,
crossed
yes, yes.
over that sense of you shouldn't be here might be coming from whatever wards have been put upon this place.
You guys feel that?
Yeah. Like something doesn't want us here?
Like every cell in my body is asking me to turn back.
Yes, I feel the same way. Feels alien, like not right here.
And yet, we must push on.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Be wary. If this entity ahead has convinced the young child to work in its stead, it's not unlikely that it'll try to make pawns of us as well.
Indeed. However, we are not children. Shall not be so easily swayed.
We can but hope.
Mm,
And continue marching on.
yep.
About an hour passes. The chill in the air is now sitting heavily in your lungs, and there's a dampness now on your shoulders. Rook, in the distance, you can hear the sound of sweeping. Like someone is simply brushing the dust from their floor.
I'll put a hand up to sort of imply that I hear something and we need to stop.
Mhm.
And then
Stop.
I'll crouch down and slowly try to make my way into a position where I can get eyes on.
Okay.
I too will crouch down and stealth.
Yeah.
You'll crouch down. And Roshana's just sat there in the cart going, what?
Clank, clonk, clink, clank.
Give me a perception check, please, Rook.
Sure.
It takes you a good moment. In the darkness itself, it's difficult to make out shapes, but you do see that the trees are becoming a little bit more sparse. A lot of them have lost their leaves and are bare to the coldness. You spot candlelight peeking out quietly through the treescape. But you don't see any
Yep.
figure sweeping.
Has the sound stopped?
It hasn't. It's continuing.
I'll begin making my way a little bit closer.
I will follow along with Rook. Trying to keep maybe like 5-ish foot distance between us.
As you crouch forward, you do see the semblance of a path. Like someone has put down a little bit of stone and dust. To form a semblance of a walkway that weaves through the trees in the distance towards the candlelight.
As I make my way up, I'll make where possible. I'll try to remain off the path.
Ready. You skirt about the path, but keep an eye on it as you see it breaks the tree line into a large clearing. The three barren trees are poking out from the ground around you, just not within the forest like space.
Mm.
What
So
you
I
do?
get a clearer sense of where the sweeping's coming from.
You do. It's coming from the front of a large stone hut, windowless with a slate-tiled roof. In the darkness, you could just make out the looming shape of stone behind it, seemingly circling the hut. The ground around it is bereft of soil, though a twisted and gnarled tree, bare of any leaves, is crawling out of the ground beside the hut and clambering onto the top of the hut itself and onto the circling stone. Bring you over now. You could see that little candlelight before, caged and just hanging beside the door.
We kind of straight ahead, yeah.
If you want to. It's up to you.
Well, no, I was just wondering, like.
I know you're up to
what
the side
direction.
slightly. And you can see a hunched figure, Rook. The loudening sound of the sweeping. A wee woman
Oof.
stood by, just cleaning the area.
Rook will step out to the side of this tree
Mhm.
and slowly raise himself up and lean against it and sit there for a couple of moments to see if he's noticed.
Vane will cast invisibility
Okay.
on himself.
You do see sitting atop one of the gnarled branches here. Crow peers its beady eye down at you before flitting off into the grim sky above. With the hunched figure steadily and rhythmically sweeping the ground before the hut, straighten themselves only slightly, and turns their head in your direction. Can I help you?
Strange place
That it
to
be.
find
That it
someone
be.
living.
Strange place to have visitors.
I'm sure. Might I ask what keeps you so far away from everything?
Oh, I prefer the quiet.
I was like that for a while. I hear inside this bubble that so carefully protects against the Fae, there's someone who wields the power of hounds.
Oh, that might be me.
Yeah?
Yes, I've got 3 of the little buggers.
Are you the same individual who killed the guardian of this forest?
You see, she begins tutting and just sweeping even harder.
Well,
Can
they came to my doorstep. They attacked my hounds, and my hounds fought back.
and in their victory you elected to not waste the prize found in front of you?
Of course not. Why let such a good thing go to waste? I don't disregard its purpose as the guardian, but it came onto my patch, didn't it?
And now why would a guardian of a forest take such offense to your existence in it?
Beats me. It was mostly after my
Pets.
Indeed. Come closer, I'd like a good look at you.
I'll step up a bit.
Hey,
But you see now that this is a hunched older woman. Not quite your height, Rook. You see white hair, wiry white hair has been pulled back rather sloppily into a bun atop her head. One of her eyes doesn't look to be real. Looks to be like a glass eye, possibly. It's very clouded. The clothes she's wearing is rather drab. But it's the teeth that gets you more than anything else. They are blackened and rather gapped. She holds her sweeping for a second before she slaps the back of her head, and that glass eye falls out of her face. And she hobbles over for a second, dipping the glass eye into the water of the little bucket that she has here before popping it back into her face again and getting a better look at you.
Nice.
I think we've had many hobgoblins in this area. Wasn't expecting you.
Yeah. I don't get out much. And it doesn't seem like the denizens of this forest particularly like my kind.
Yes,
Assorted history and all that.
from what I've heard, yes. What is it I can do for you?
I hear or I've noticed that your hounds have a air of smoke about them.
Aye, that they do.
Are they of a fiendish descent?
Oh, no, not at all. And as for the smoke, I've tried dunking them and grabbing them. Can't seem to get rid of it.
Can I see your hounds?
Yeah, they're out on maneuvers, as I like to say, right now. Don't go over there!
She shouts in your direction, Vane.
Ooh.
I will stay still.
I see you. Those are my dried herbs and fruits. Stop!
Can I look at the herbs and see what they are?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see various different plants and certain fruits, and they don't seem to be native. At least you don't actually recognize any of them, Vane.
So they don't look like the ones, like any of the ones that are in the book.
Absolutely not. You do see, however, there is a what looks to be like a curtain or something. Just beyond those herbs. And why are you concealing? Roll 20.
Fix it!
Because I'm invisible.
Seems to be a curtain blocking the little backyard that she has.
Okay.
You'll have to excuse the somewhat potentially insulting aspect of this question. But I've seen a lot in my last couple of weeks. Dark, grey, colourless section of a forest. Hounds at beck and call. An interest in valuable parts of powerful entities. A disregard for their home and purpose. You wouldn't happen to be a hag of some form, would you?
Well, you're quite astute.
We recently shoveled a den out of a basement layer in a city.
Yeah. Unfortunate for them.
Different breed, I suspect, though.
I'd imagine not many hags live in the city, as you so like to call me, and us.
If you've got another name, I'd much prefer to use it.
Oh, I'm Granny Gretfern.
Granny Grandford, one off.
One off, sorry?
Well, you said us, so I don't know if you were speaking to
Oh no,
hags
I was
in
referring
general or
to
you.
the fey entities of, female figures that are cast out into the forest and suddenly, ooh, we're witches, but
Yeah.
they call us spinsters. Call us.
So just you then.
Oh, just me.
Inside.
Can
Give me an
I?
inside check.
Just quick. There's two things I kind of want to peek at, which is this thing that's on the roof as I walked up,
Come the fuck.
and also, is there any windows on this side of the?
Okay, that looks to be like a wind vane that is broken on top of the roof,
Okay.
and there is no windows.
Okay, so it's literally just the front door. That's fine. I thought so.
Well, it would have been a 21.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to tell, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of looks like a bitch. Looks like she's really good upside. Looks like she would look really good upside down in, I don't know, a bucket of crabs.
Rook will look behind him towards Roshana and Kato and make an expression towards Kato that he so often does whenever he wants Kato to instigate a particular form of communication.
Instigate. Okay. Yes.
A crow flew off when we first got here. We shouldn't rule out that it was beckoning for its friends, Wolven, to come back. If we're going to be
Right.
making a move here, I recommend.
Right. They're likely on their way back. What's the play?
Do you think diplomacy will work against a hag? You think we can convince them to leave? I feel like that goes against what we had been asked to do by our fayish friends.
Diplomacy might work, my dear.
Oh, yeah?
Bitch.
And you, her eyes, well, her one eye appears at you, Kato. Your mind is rather cavernous, isn't it? I could have a lot of time, a lot of fun, picking at your brain. But there's an awful seed in there. Recently rooted, but it hasn't quite sprouted yet. Anywho. I'll ask again. What is it I can do for you?
A bringer of dark and dreary night, her magic and stature of power and might, a symbol of fear and dread. The iron tooth of cold rock in our stead.
Oh, that's quite good. You should write a song.
It's already been written, and I fear it's in reference to you.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah. So, I'm not really, I'm not really a, you said diplomacy might work. But our interest is more in you not being in this forest anymore. And I kind of feel like that might be a deal breaker for you.
That is unfortunate.
And he was me willing to make a trade?
A trade.
Certainly.
What for what, might I be so bold to inquire?
I've a very funny feeling that the snout gobbler wants his little millstone back.
Mm.
It just happens to be a stone that I'm after as well. And you'll be pleased to know it'll get me out of this damn forest.
I was under the impression that the thief of such a stone was already working for your kind.
Oh, you mean little Tolburn. Indeed. He's a good boy.
And why exactly hasn't he delivered yet?
Well, he brought me the millstone, but I'm afraid the stone that I'm after is a bit beyond his depth.
So you're after something different than the millstone.
Yes.
What stone are you after?
It lies beneath the oaken heart of Benfirth. Beneath an enormous tree.
And what value does it have to you?
Well, it means that I can leave here. And she raises her saggy arms up. You see the nails themselves are dirtied over and beneath the bed itself. I don't quite like this place.
Hmm.
Or
I don't
you
suppose.
can continue on your way. You could do that too.
I don't suppose you would know what the consequence to taking that stone would be. I assume it's there for a purpose.
I have an idea, but needs must.
Huh.
And what is your need?
Like I said, and you see her head like contorts slightly on top of the cervical spine and just turns with a in your direction, Vane.
Yeah.
Hmm.
My need is to leave. Like I said, I don't like it here.
And go where?
To the mountains, I think.
Apart from leaving, why do you want the stone?
Well, I need the
What does
stone
it
to leave.
do for you? What does it do for you?
I can craft such a significant stone into the item I need to leave.
And the village that you're taking it from doesn't need that stone?
Well, I don't believe any of them know about it.
While she's conversing with Vane, can I take a scan over her form and see if there's if either this one is an illusion or if there's some sort of like illusion magic over them?
Sure. Give me an intelligence check, please. Arcana, if you've got proficiency in it.
I do not.
Oh dear.
Oh,
I'm gonna message
Does
you.
that help? That'd be quite the journey for us to make all the way back there. Might I ask why you haven't elected to go get it yourself?
I don't leave my little hut, do I?
The life of a secluse.
Why
Indeed.
not have your little pets go and get it?
Well, that would cause quite a stir, wouldn't it?
Or the boy.
The boy is as loyal and as forthright as he is. He is not able to dig so far beneath the earth.
I imagine a fair bit of damage to the tree would be done.
To the inexperienced, maybe. Are you suggesting I send my hounds? She turns back towards you, Vane. You're suggesting I send my hounds to Plainfeth?
Well, evidently they're not here currently.
No, they're grabbing dinner. There's a weight on your shoulder.
Hmm?
A fear that sits heavy on your heart. I could take that away.
I could take your breath away.
Oh, you'd have to take me to dinner first, dearie.
Vane grips his dagger tightly.
I don't suppose you'd be willing to give us a good reason not to give in to our more aggressive whims. A side I prefer not to show.
Right, you are arrogant, aren't you?
In the face of the unknown, we all make our choices.
And you certainly making a choice here.
The conundrum that I find myself up against is not the risk of throwing my own life away, but that of my friends here.
I'm gonna make an attack roll.
Alright.
Go for it.
I'm sorry.
It's alright, somebody had to do something.
It's like hag bad is all I can think, and we've got friends, and Blink Dog lives in Fairpath. It can't be done.
It would cost far more to just make her move.
Okay. Roll
25
damage.
to hit. Has it been a minute since I put more poison on?
It hasn't, no.
8, 21 plus I'm gonna Psychic Blades as well. So pop that up and then do 3d6 for another 9, so 30 damage.
Okay. So the dagger shucks in, you hear, and the head again just turns towards you, Vane. And a grin crawls across her face as the psychic damage takes hold, and you see the one eye like rolls back slightly as she shakes and convulses for a second before looking back at you.
Conversation over.
I jump into attack.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna pounce on her.
And I think we'll leave it here this week, guys.
All right, I'll be back.
I've been
Guys-
thinking to myself, is like, she's a hag. She's asking us to
Yeah,
dig up a tree.
it's-
Like, the tree's been there for like forever, basically.
I
Giving her the
agree.
super
I
powerful
agree.
stone.
This is gonna be rough.